He's going. We're back into the 318 again. So I'm just finished. I just finished cutting the valve release, got all the piston, the valve clearance all sorted. So yeah, clean her all up, ready to go. Just gonna roll her over now. Torque the rod bolts. Yeah, so roll her over now, torque the rod bolts, check a few other things. Got to put the chain tensioner on, a few other bits and pieces, and then timer cover, sump, and then heads back from the shop and assemble the heads, throw the heads on, manifold. Bob's your uncle. It's a complete motor. That's the plan anyway. So here she is. Timer chain's on. It's a Rollmaster 9 keyway set. And I don't know if you can see. Chain tensioner. They're a good idea. And for $50, why wouldn't you? Yeah, rod bolts are all done up. Notice this motor's got 2 copper coated rods in it. It's interesting. Whenever Chrysler had rods that were too light, they'd copper coat them, they'd electroplate them copper. Apparently copper's heavy. I have no real idea, but it was their metal of choice anyway. So what I did with the main oil passage in the rear here is I just reamed it 1/2 inch. Just ran a 1/2 inch reamer through it, and so now I just made a little template to match the oil pump to the cap. So now I'm just gonna go and show you. I've got a couple of pumps here. One good set of rotors, one really, really bad set of rotors, but here's my little template anyway. And just marked it with a texter, the part that's not going to match up. I'll hit that with a die grinder and do a bit of deburring in there. Maybe dummy fit it too. I don't know how this goes. This is not the pump that came with the motor, so I'll dummy fit it, make sure it's going to fit with the main bolts. It's only got standard bolts in it, but could be worth a shot. Worth dummying it up anyway. Righto, here we go. Just blended that out and draw filed it as well once I was done, because I caught the edge here, put a little burr on that, so I needed something, But from the transition, I've just smoothed out the transition here from the machined passage to the as cast. Just gave that a bit of a blend because it's it's pretty ugly, you know, as they were, and then brought that around. So that matches my little template now. And this is a suction side of the pump. I've opened this up a touch. I don't know if you can see that. See if I can get that light right. Yeah, no, you can't see much, but anyway. I mean, suction side of the pump, obviously anything you can free up on the suction side is going to be way better, but even down in here too, just took the edge off. Nothing too dramatic, just taking the sharp edges off. But yeah, that's the pump body. I'll clean it, fat her up, and throw it back together. Alright, so pumps here, just clean the pickup and screwed it in. Good to go. So, let me see here. All right, gentlemen. So, starting to get a few things on. Really, the more I work on this thing, the more I'm just not a fan of LA Chrysler engines. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to muck around with this pump. It's going to have to come off when I paint it and all the rest of it. I'm just hoping I don't lose seal at the timing case, where the timing case meets the block, as I'm undoing these bolts and doing them back up again and undo them. And anyway, whatever. Starting to come together. I been mucking around with an oil pan, so I'll show you what I'm doing there. All right, so I was just cleaning the oil pan up, and I decided I was going to weld in. Speaking of welds, look at that rubbish. Yeah, I thought the welder was working good, but no, apparently it's playing up. But anyway, so just drilled some holes, joined the dots with a fine disc on the angle grinder, and then yeah, pry the slot open with a screwdriver. So yeah, just a half windage tray, so that I can still get the pickup in there easily. Just decided it needed it because it was just, you know, wide open. Yeah, anyway, not very pleased with the end seals on this Velcro sump gasket. Hang on, we'll pull this out. See, there's no barb. It's just a straight section of rubber rather than a barb. So
you push it through and then it just pulls back as soon as you bump it. If it had a barb on it, it'd actually hold it in place, but no barb on any of them. It's just a straight section of rubber. Yeah. Anyway, seems like a dumb design to me, but anyway, whatever. All right, got some little carburetor studs, carby base plate studs, just sort of screwed in to guide me down. Well, there she is, all buttoned up. Crisis averted on these end seals on the pan gasket. That seems fine, but I don't know, just looked like it looked a bit inadequate to me earlier, but it looks fine now. All right, cool. It's one step closer. I'll get into the heads. Righto. Just a set of standard rebuilt 675 318 heads. Nothing special. Only thing special about them is that they got new bronze guides and Stellite seats on the exhaust side. So all I'm going to do with them, pull them apart, clean them up. I'm going to gasket match the inlet because I'm running a Performer RPM. So I'll gasket match the inlet to 340, 360 size and add the springs that match the cam and call it good. Well, I got the valves out of it. Marked the face of the head. I mean, cleaned it up. Marked the face of the head, and then yeah, put the gasket in. Scrape it with a scribe. There's a fair bit of material to come out. You can see that. But yeah. There we go. Yeah, just using black permanent marker because I don't have any blue at the moment. I don't have any engineering blue, so that's me. Well, there's a couple just roughed out. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty happy there. Minimal time, minimal effort. I'll get them pretty close. I'll get them a bit closer than that, and I'll get them a bit smoother than that. There's a bit of a bulge in here where the valve cover screw goes in. So I'll just smooth that out. There's no actual porting going on in these heads though. All I'm doing is matching up because of the intake I'm using. I might clean the bowls, not clean them up. I might just literally clean them because they're full of black, full of carbon and all that. But yeah, I'll get on, do the next. Here we are. Gasket matched cylinder heads. 318 heads just quickly, easily, cheaply matched up to 360 port window or 340, 360 port window. I don't think, it's not perfect, far from it, but not bad, cheap, easy. I can see I dipped a little bit below where I should have on that one, but you know what? This is not as smooth and as nice as the other one, but you know what? Gonna be good enough. No actual porting going on, like I said, so we'll get into cleaning them up now. So valves have been lapped. Heads have been draw filed on all the mating surfaces. I don't know if you can see. Can't see it from this angle, but I'm draw filed all the inlet and exhaust and heat gasket surfaces, and all the mating surfaces. So valves are lapped. Everything's numbered and ready to go. All the springs, collets, retainers are all cleaned up, ready to install. So clean the heads down, get it going. All right, here's some progress. We've got new comp 901 springs going on. One head's assembled. Next head on its way. Then we can unwrap this thing and slap some heads on it. So, got one copper sprayed head gasket on, and I got two fully assembled cylinder heads. So, let's do it. Righto, next day. The little heater going there because it's a cold and rainy day today. I'm gonna tape this up and paint it. It's just that time of day. It's just that time. It's just gotten to that stage. So yeah, taper up, then the intake. I'll taper up, paint it, then the intake can go on. Got those MP covers down there. So I've got some stockies to put on while I paint it, and I suppose I'll take the water pump off and all that sort of jam. But yeah, this is looking good. Pretty happy. Alrighty. Let's drop some old covers on it. Take this pump off soon, and then start wiping it down. It's nice and warm here now. You can feel the block It's not just dead cold and dank and damp, so it'll be nice. But here we go. Painting day. A little bit of black going down. That's my primer. I'll keep into it. Well, there she is. Primer is on. Ready for colour. There she is, gentlemen. There she is. All dressed up and nowhere to go. Well, that's good. I'll clean her up, get the intake ready, and clean those covers up. Get ready to throw them on. Should be good. Well, there she is, lads. I'll call it Bumblebee. But yeah, you can see I hung a alternator there. I'm starting to look at how we can run the alternator with the electric water pump. There's no off-the-shelf bracket, so I'm gonna have to do something. But yeah, that's her. I think it looks great. Pretty happy with it. That manifold's on, the inlet's just sitting there. Still waiting on push rods, and yeah, I just haven't got around to gluing the manifold down yet. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked with it. That's yeah, that's bloody good. Well, righto. Well, that's it for this one. I'll get on it. I've got to rip into the transmission soon enough, but yeah, I mean, bracketry and a few odds and sods on this thing got to happen, but I've got to pull apart the seized 440 next. That's the next project, so that's, I guess, the next video. But yeah, I'm swapping a 383 block for the crank rods and well, cranking rods out of the seized 440. So that 383 will be another project down the road. But yeah, yeah, that's the next job. And then later on we'll get back into this. I still want to get this Valiant rolling pretty soon, so to have this motor running sooner than later is kind of the goal. So yeah, still waiting on push rods and a few bits and pieces, but yeah, this motor should be able to run soon. Not necessarily running soon, but able to run. But yeah, do this, send the tranny, drop it in this car, but first I got to pull this crank out of the C's 440, so that's the next job. Alrighty, catches. Hey, talk to me in the comments too, won't you?